Hey.
Hey guys!
Hey.
How's it going?
What's up, boys? Good.
Hanging
Yeah.
in there. Just doing a
What's
little
up,
bit of
man?
training.
So I've got an idea. What is our biggest hurdle that we're having to deal with right now?
COVID.
Pretty much not being able to train right now. I mean, how are we going to prepare for Yasuke's journey to Japan, even though we're quarantined?
Yeah. That's true.
Exactly.
And it is sucked to not be able to train with you guys.
It's 100% not ideal. We can't just go to the places we want to go. It's terrible. But that's where my idea comes in.
You have my interest.
So if we can't go external and train the places we want to train, what if we focus on some martial arts that have an internal focus?
All right. I like that. I like that. Kind of exercise by quarantine, introspection, self-improvement.
That's
I'm
right.
all in. What martial arts are you thinking specifically? What's up?
I'm thinking Iaido.
So what is Iaido?
Iaido is a form of training that existed since the feudal era of Japan. It uses the katana and emphasizes strikes and returns from the scabbard or saya.
Iaido is based off of detailed choreographed movements for specific situations called kata. Each kata has a specific story behind it, which details the number, the placement, the position, and weapons of the opponents.
What is our story with this technique? What should we envision?
This is a technique of Iaido called Ippon me mai.
Ippon me mai is a potential reaction to an opponent that is sitting across from you while you kneel, and they suddenly turn hostile. The first blow is a draw from the saya. The opponent moves back, and the follow-up cut finishes the fight. Iaido is going to help us more than just like learning the form, and it has all these benefits, but we're also going to be on camera. We're going to be drawing swords, returning the swords to the thing. We have to think beyond just all of us with our history as sparring practitioners. We have to have the whole package when we're on camera in the future. So Iaido can help give us that ability to be comfortable.
Really
Yeah,
like
it's such
that.
a cool martial arts. I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but some of the research I've done, in the past has been always being in a constant state of preparedness, and it's something that always appealed to me. It's just kind of cool. I think the term is like zanshin and a warrior spirit, and always kind of keeping that in mind and being prepared seems like that's a cool project.
I like all of that,
awesome.
And the fact is, Ghost of Tsushima just came out, so this would be really cool, and that way I can feel like that when I'm playing the game. So
Yes, brilliant
Such a
plan.
goober.
that's me. Cool. All right then. I guess that means training montage.
All right, Wandering Sword, let's practice this all week.
There he is.
Finally.
Sorry, that was a lot. That was a lot.
It was good. It was a good week, man.
Yeah. So with this technique, guys, what was the biggest thing that you learned from it? Like, what things stood out as like a really valuable piece of this technique?
Doug, you go first. Man.
What I learned is, besides that I'm terrible at putting a katana back in the sheath, no, I think it was a sense of awareness and trying to keep the zanshin and that warrior presence of mind throughout. It was easy to kind of get distracted as I made the mental checklist of make sure I do this and this. So to make sure I was doing the technique correctly, but maintaining that warrior spirit throughout. I really enjoyed that. It almost became meditative at parts. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know for me, it was totally that whole too many mind, where I would be thinking about the next thing I needed to do instead of emphasizing that time on each single move as I go. I would be doing something that I'm thinking too far ahead, and I need to just be thinking the present and the now. So I would rush things.
What do you think was the hardest thing for you, Kyle?
Oh man, it was balance was a huge part. Like a lot of the times when you would step up or back down, I would feel myself wobble, and you have to maintain that center all the way down, all the way back up, and like not fall over, you know? And like that took so much thought from me that I just didn't expect to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, I also experienced that with like a mix of either stepping out too far or not far enough, or being misaligned to where my, that right foot stepping out. Yeah, I was also, I think with that step though, the hardest thing for me was popping my back foot onto the balls of my feet. I just kept like, pop up, just pop up.
Use some energy. And your body's like, no, this is the 30th time we've done it in a row. We have no more
my foot.
Explosive energy.
Especially getting up and down, I have to say, working on it, but the 270 pounds of me getting up and down, up and down, up and down, I was like, my knees. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, right on. So next question, guys. What is the thing that will stick with you about this technique the most? Like, what thing will you remember next week, next month, that's worth training or thinking about?
I think for me, it was definitely the whole emphasis. Once again, it's the opposite of too many mind. When you would stick the move, like coming out that first cut and actually keeping things level. To me, I think about this in a warrior sense. It's that first cut that I did. I want to end that fight in the first cut. But then, of course, because of how we're doing it, we're having a finishing cut. But if I can have the first one that's good, that's having them real, that's perfect. Because when I take it out there, it'd be not edge aligned, it'd be all weird, as you already saw. But that was that first cut, just the first, sticking with that first, it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah.
What about you, Doug?
I think something that will stick with me with this training is, I don't know, it's something that's near and dear to all of us, but anytime that I get to kind of add self-reflection into sword forms as an art and a discipline, it just resonates on like a deeper level for me. And so kind of get into this meditative state as I'm preparing to actually do the two cuts. Having that time in those moments to just kind of center myself, to get out of my head and don't worry about that mental checklist and just kind of be in the moment and be present for those cuts. That's
100% what I was going to say. Like,
Twinsies.
At first, I'm like trying just to like go through the reps, like it's just a sequence. I'll just pow, pow, pow. And then I'm posting my videos and stuff, and people are commenting. A lot of really cool people from the Iaido community reached out and are like, hey, maybe try this, maybe try this. And one of those suggestions was to take 3 deep breaths at the start. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. And then I do it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in this perfect zone to just go through the whole thing. And it made it so much smoother. And I was more capable of being like, oh, here's where I could improve. And it just put me in this spiritually aligned place that made it actually really rewarding,
That's pretty awesome. Now, that leads to another question then. What do you guys think is the value of learning a kata in general?
There's a couple of good answers for that, like, because different martial arts will say, like, this is exactly the technique, but as we all know, against a live opponent, it might not roll out that smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
But learning how to chain your moves together, learning how to be comfortable doing it under any duress, and then building that mental fortitude of, hey, I've got to get it right, and I'm going to go through and repeat it, because fighting it's all mental, and this helps build your brain. There's a lot of value in kata that old me didn't like, but new me is starting to see, hey, it's more than just a sequence. There's a lot of stuff you can get from it.
There's a lot of like resilience with progress in that doing the repetitions each day. For me, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I've been a slob. I have not been getting after it, and having the discipline to kind of work towards, and having a kata so that I could work towards and progress in that skill set was really rewarding for me. And then agree on all points Kyle made as well.
Mission accomplished. This is pretty good. We learned from it.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. All right, so here's the next question, guys. What form do we want to do next? What kata and what martial art do we want to do next?
Down below in the comments, just comment what you guys think we should do. We're going to do more no matter what. So give us your input. Ippon Mei Mai was definitely worth our time. So absolutely. Everyone at home, two thumbs up.
Yep.
Wandering Sword approved. Go and check it out yourself. Record it, put it on your Instagram, put it on Instagram, and then hashtag the Wandering Sword. We'll take a look at it. Please. It makes us all get better and we get to see things as we go.
We grow together.
Grow together.
Exactly. Until next time.
From the Wandering Sword.
Wander on.
And
cut. Thanks to all of our patrons. Check out our Patreon link in the description below. Shout out to our top patrons, Ajax Dragonfuhr, Sito-sama, and Byron Swanson, Pathfinders of the Wandering Sword. Wander on.